What's going on, everybody, and welcome back. So in this one, we're going to be looking at this 4L80 that I picked up. So this is two things. First thing, Avalanche needs a 4L80. It makes, I don't know what it makes, but it's on 5 pounds right now, and I'd love to turn it up to 10 pounds. I think that would be so much fun, and I know the motor can handle it. It's an LS, you guys know. So 10 pounds will be fine. Along with the cam. I think it'll be a ripper on 10 pounds. I think it'll be really nasty. And I think it'll still be pretty safe. So the trans can't hang there, the 4L60 can't hang, and I can't really rip it. And I want a converter as well. So there's a lot of reasons why I've been wanting a 4L80, and that's just the way I want to do it, to bulletproof it. I could probably try to build the 4L60, but I would rather just put a 4L80 in it and do a HD2 shift kit, bulletproof it, and that's going to be the next big upgrade. So this is the start of that. I'll stop talking and just show you guys this beauty here. I picked this thing up. It looks like it's already been rebuilt by GM, so that's fine. We'll have to go through it and see, make sure everything's good. But I do want to take it apart. Apparently this is a working unit. It was taken out of a truck that did drive, so that's cool. It's not blown up like the last one I had. Maybe we got a good chance on this one of everything being fine and no burn clutches and stuff. So we're gonna try to tear this one down like we did with the other one, and anything we find bad we'll replace, like clutches. And we'll see what we gotta get new, if we can get everything apart. And yeah, so also this could be a backup just in case the one in the bus is no good, because I rebuilt it and it's only been my first rebuild. So this guy is a 4-wheel drive guy too, so we have the transfer case adapter, which is sick. So I shouldn't have to worry about that here. Transfer case can just bolt right on. And the tail shaft is different on this one versus the other one, so that's pretty crucial here, and this will be ready for me in my truck, so it works out. It is a late model because it's got the rear cooler line fitting back here. If it had them both together up front, it would be the early model. So being that this is a late model, this is what I'm looking for. So yeah, I'm pretty excited about this thing here. I definitely got to go through and tear it apart, make sure everything is looking good, and then we will go back to the swap in this thing, what I always wanted to do to the Avalanche, but I haven't had time. So yeah, I'm gonna go clean the spot downstairs and start to tear this thing down. It needs a dipstick tube, which is broken, and it needs a neutral safety switch over here, or the gear selector. I guess it's broken, I was told. I don't know. He said something about he went to take the thing off. He said they glued it, but I think he just didn't know that they put glue in these from factory. So they glue these from factory, and he said that somebody ripped a pin out, or when he unplugged it, a pin came out. So I don't know. I wish he just left it alone, but whatever. Yeah, I think that he could have just cut the wires. That's what I would have done on these guys when you pull them out, but that's okay. Yeah, that is where we're at. So I'm gonna, like I said, get this thing downstairs and we can tear it apart. Alright, so we got her down here on the fixture, just slowly dripping, and I was just looking at this with my dad. He's like, this turbine shaft seal is still pliable. This thing is a relatively fresh rebuild here, because I saw the reman torque converter on it, so this thing was rebuilt recently. Also had a valve put in that I kind of broke apart, but no big deal. I'll have to look into that. I'm gonna put a new plug in there, just a plug. Looked like it had a plug and somebody drilled the plug out and put like some kind of weird valve in there that I kind of accidentally ripped apart. But that's fine, I don't really need that anyway. I'd much rather have just a plug in there, but it's really cool to have that. You can drain some of the fluid out, and do services on it, so that's pretty cool. Yeah, it's probably gonna be a ripper, guys. I don't know, I'm excited. I probably could just throw this in, but I want to do the HD2 kit, and I want to see the state of everything, so I'm gonna tear it down. Not down to the pistons, I don't think. I'm just gonna tear down, take the clutches out and stuff and just see what's worn. If I got, to put clutches in it, I'll do that, even though it probably doesn't even need it. But I'll just do the HD2 kit stuff, which I should order soon. And I'm gonna order my custom torque converter soon. I gotta spec it out. I think I'm gonna go with Circle D. So anyway, yeah guys, I'm gonna start tearing this thing down. I'll show you guys what I find. Alrighty. Okay. That doesn't look too bad. A little bit of material in there. Nothing too serious. A little bit of stuff on the magnet, I guess. Pretty normal amount of magnet material. What do you think about that? Looks a little bit burnt. Converter. A little converter material in there.
Maybe a little clutch.
Yeah. Okay. All right. So we'll have to go through it. We already knew that, but you know, doesn't really smell that bad. It smells a little bit crisp, but not like it totally grenaded. So
I'd say direct clutch.
Yeah, maybe we'll get a little direct clutch burn.
Yeah,
but
that's okay.
No biggie. We're gonna go through it anyway. Look at that. I see this. This may already have parts of an HD2 shift kit in it. That's interesting. This might have gone to a rebuilder, because I see this part in here. I think that might be an HD2 kit upgrade here. That little plate. So that's interesting. We're gonna have to see what else is in here.
Somebody went in there.
Yeah, it's been gone through. So maybe somebody put an HD2 shift kit in it, which would be...
Well, look at the torque converter.
Which would be sweet.
Turbine shaft seal.
Yeah, I showed him that, yeah.
Yeah.
I showed that already.
Yeah.
So that's interesting stuff, guys. So I realized when removing the valve body, I saw this. I'll show you guys what I'm trying to find here. I saw this plate. And I was like, I know this plate right here. That's a transgo part. So this transmission already had some or all of an HD2 shift kit put in from Transgo. So I was looking at it this morning further because I watched a few HD2 videos, and they all have this orange spring in the accumulator piston here, or I think that's the reverse servo. They have this orange in the reverse servo, shorter white spring over here, and also, let's see, it's cross drilled. I don't know if you can see this right here. It's cross drilled right in there. You can see the cross drilling that goes between the two parts there, and then it's also drilled down. Ooh, terrible focus. Yeah, no, it's also drilled down through there. So I'm gonna go through the kit and make sure all that stuff's right. But it seems like somebody already did an HD2 shift kit in here. Taking it apart, there's a little bit of clutch material in the pan, which I guess is normal for a higher mileage trans. I wonder if somebody did the shift kit to stop direct clutch burning, because maybe it was burning the direct a little bit, and they did that to fix it. Did this thing... I don't know, because there's definitely some burned clutch material in there. You can see clutch material in here and here. Is that normal? I don't know. I haven't seen that much in anybody's transmission, so I think this one was burning up a little bit. So it's not as fresh of a unit as I would have liked, but we're gonna go through it, take all the parts out, and make it right, like we did with the bus one, and hopefully this one is a ripper as well. Cool to see that we already have the HD2 shift kit. So I don't know, based on what I see, I'm almost tempted to see how much of it's done, but I almost want to buy another HD2 shift kit and do the additional pump mods and things like that. And then, I could always pass along the rest of the kit to the guy for the bus, just because I know he wanted a shift kit too, to keep it stout, but I had already put it back together. So it is what it is, but sorry, Tim, I may have that box for you, and you can do it, because all you really have to do most of the HD2 shift kit is this right here, is pull off the bottom of the trans, pull the valve body off, and do most of the stuff right from here. So I've been letting this thing drain all night, so it's got some more to drain here, but taking a look right here, let's see, we did have a little bit of check ball wear on the case. That's something I was looking at. So right here you can see it is worn on the case. So apparently the internet said that that's totally no biggie, and it's common on these, so that's good. Otherwise I'll just knock those flakes off. So looking at that boost valve there, I don't know if that's the one from the HD2 kit. I gotta see. Probably gonna pull the pump out of this thing. I wanna see if the pump was drilled. I'd like to do everything in the kit. If the kit comes with all that stuff, I'm gonna do all of it. I know some people just do a partial HD2, but I want to do the whole thing. So I want to verify that this thing has had the whole HD2 kit done. So I'm going to probably air check what I can. I think that's what we talked about. I want to see about air checking this thing and see what I can air check and make sound good, or what I have a problem with. And then based on that, I'll tear it down if I find that I don't like how something air checks. So I just got to look up the process of that. I've done it before, so it'd be cool to compare that to the other one. And yeah, so that's what the next step is. So guys, a lot of people only air check like 2 things. I know there's multiple things you can air check on this. It's hard to find a good video on it. I'm going to try to do more research later, but for right now, if you air check this guy, which is the low reverse, of course the furnace turns on exactly when I want you to hear this noise. So hang in there. Okay, so round 2. Furnace is off. So this is the low and reverse right here. You'll hear the air, but you'll also hear it thump. I know you guys can hear it thump in there. So that's the low and reverse. That sounds good. This one right here is this clutch pack right here. I'm not sure what it is, but I'm sure you can hear it. You can even see this one. I'll show you that in a sec. But these guys, if you plug one of the holes and blow the other one, if you plug this one, okay, let's try the other one. Plug this one. I don't know what I'm doing here. You know that. Well, it sounded like it was doing something before when I plugged the hole. There we go. It's doing something. So that air checks, I guess, okay. I thought there was another one too. I thought you could plug this other hole and then blow into the other side. Oh yeah. I hear it. I don't know which one it is, but I hear that too. So there's a couple more you can do up here with the pump, but I never had any luck doing those on the other one, and I didn't on this one too, which makes me feel a little better. You're supposed to plug it like crazy. I don't know how you're supposed to do it. Oh, I got that one. So the pump is out. Now it's left to disassemble the pump. Obviously, get new gaskets here. So, just doing some research on HT2 kits and what to do, what not to do. I was looking at dual feeding the direct, and apparently there are certain things you don't want to do if you have an HT2 kit in there. And I was reading about how the HT2 kit can be bad, and the pressure relief that you put in can cause low line pressure and cause everything to blow up. So I'm a little concerned. I really was excited about the HT2 kit, and I was going to do it all the way, and it is what it is. It's already installed, so I think I'm just going to send it. But there's some professional rebuilders that were basically talking about why they don't do that anymore. So I don't know, guys. Hopefully it's fine. We got to inspect the pump. So let's see what the pump looks like. Hopefully the pump's in good shape. Looks alright. Let's see what the surface looks like here. Got a little scoring, I guess. I don't think it looks too bad. I'm gonna have to I can definitely feel some grooves. But I think it would probably still make pressure, you know? Hard to tell, guys. Hopefully you guys can still see. Yeah. Everything looks okay. It only goes a certain way. sure you guys know that. Yeah, so I'll take out this stuff here. Something like that. Yeah, it looks alright, I guess. I don't know. Definitely a little scored. Let me get a pick. See if I can feel the scores. But I mean, what do you expect on a higher mileage trans? I feel like they all probably look somewhat like that. So now I want to see if they drilled the pump. It looks like they did drill the pump. Interesting. Yeah, it looks like they did drill the pump. Looks like this bushing's a bit worn on one side too. Yeah, you can see they drilled the pump and they didn't change the bushing, I think, on the rebuild. So I think I might have that bushing. So I may be trying to change that bushing just based on the way that that looks. I don't know if you can see. See, it looks like the bushing's cracked there. So it was definitely drilled. Hard to tell, but they drilled it without taking the bushing out, which you're supposed to do. And it looks like it's cracked there. I don't know, it's really thin there, so because they drilled the top of it. So it's interesting to see. So I'm gonna be looking at replacing that. It does look a bit grooved, so that's a little concerning. That bushing looks a little bit hammered. You can see that crack in there. So yeah, they did drill out the pump. So that part's already done. So a lot of this HD2 kit seems as though it's been done. So somebody had this, at least they had the pump out of it. So I think this thing might have been fully rebuilt. We're going to find out by going through the rest of the trans and figuring everything else out. But yeah, it's pretty interesting to see that somebody else has been in here messing around. I wish it was me, personally. I like it when I'm the one messing around, but not always the case. Somebody else got to this one first. So I got this guy out. I know it's the input shaft with that front planetary, I guess, and I don't know which one that is, to be honest. I'm not too good with everything. I know this is the center support. Actually no, this is the overdrive. I think this is the overdrive assembly, and these are the overdrive clutches here, which all looked really good. But what I'm looking at is this thing is chewed up, guys. I don't know what happened. This overdrive is like really chewed up on the outside. I didn't see any damage on this part, which I guess is what would be rubbing on that. I don't see any damage on the outside of the steels or on this. So I'm wondering if when this thing blew up previously that was caused. Or they put this in from another trans. I don't know, but that's chewed up. I've never seen that sort of thing before. I don't know why it looks all destroyed. So that's definitely weird. But we'll carry on, I guess, and see what we find. So far, so good. It looks okay. Looking at it, I can tell that the Teflon seals here, these are like a OE style seal on there. These Teflon guys. Let's get it to focus. So they had to be sized and everything. So whoever did the rebuild, if they did replace this stuff, they did what you're supposed to do and put those Teflon seals on there. So that's good, at least. So we'll keep digging. Alright guys, so I'm about to start taking these clutches out. I think this is the direct or the forward. I don't know. Maybe it's not the direct. I think this is the forward. But this guy looks pretty good. So I pulled the outer section out. I think I'll just dump him over now. Get everything out. I don't know if that's the right way to do it, but gets the job done. Got our bushing on there. And all the clutches look pretty good. put him in here. And look at all these clutches. These all look great. Clutches and steels look great. So that's good. Alright, so next step, tear the next part down. These are pump bolts over here. Put these over here. Kind of nice because it's my second one, so I kind of know what I'm doing. Almost. No, I think maybe this is the direct. I don't care. I don't know. The direct and the forward are like really similar. I can't tell which is which. I gotta get the other one out, and then maybe I'll know. Then I still won't know. I'm just gonna say that for everything I take apart, and eventually I'll be right. Okay. Everything looks pretty good here too. Everything looks pretty good there too, guys, so that's pretty cool. So I pulled out the intermediates, and they look pretty good too. So everything's checking out in this trans, other than the annihilated overdrive housing and possible pump scoring. But based on all the clutches looking like they do, even though the pump looks like this, I'm going to say it's probably fine. So we're going to send it on this pump anyway. These pumps are really expensive, so no need to put a new pump in there. This is probably normal for this mileage, and I'm sure it still makes plenty of pressure because nothing in here is really that burned. So hopefully I don't speak too soon, but we're almost there. This is the center support bolt right here. I got to find the correct, it's like a 12.14 or something like that. I don't know. That's actually American, I think. So I'm going to try to find that to loosen that, and then we'll get the center support out and the rest of this crap. And we're looking good, guys. I'm excited. I'm really liking this 4L80 rebuild thing. I think I want to do this on the side. It's kind of fun. Alright, so I took off the extension housing on the back, and it is interesting to note that the extension housing, or the tail shaft rather, is different on the two-wheel drive and four-wheel drive. So this is a four-wheel drive trans, so the tail shaft coming out is shorter. I took the extension housing off, and this whole time I've been trying to yank the center support out like an idiot, and I'm like, this thing's busted. Why can't I get this out? I was about to get a hammer and start hitting it. And I remembered that the rear cooler line fitting goes into the rear center support. This guy right here. I think I'll probably be replacing these anyway, so it's time to take that out, and then the center support should come out. I'm an idiot. Whatever. Live and learn. So now I gotta take that out. I took the speed sensor, and the rear one's a dummy plug on the four-wheel drive. It's pretty hammered, so try to get new O-rings. I probably will just order like a basic rebuild kit for this, not with pistons and stuff like that, because it seems like none of the clutches are burned majorly. So I think we're gonna rock all the pistons and leave that stuff. It air checked okay, and put it back together just with new seals on everything that I can, and just, you know, go from there. I know it's like cheap and dirty rebuild, but if it's not broke, don't fix it. So we're just gonna put it back together as it sits, and this thing will be a ripper, I'm sure. So I'll pull that cooler line fitting out now, and then I'll pull the center support out. Then I should be able to pull the whole rear planet carrier and everything out of there. Yeah, like I said, I'm using all the wrong names for stuff, but you get the idea. But it's going well. Almost done. So this is my special tool. You can do it with the, the center support on there. I just took the center support off to make it lighter, and then comes off with this snap ring first. Center support, cooler line is what goes in here. So yeah, looking at the bushing in here, there's something kind of weird going on. Not really sure what that is. Yeah, look at the bushing in there. I guess that looks okay. That's where that guy's riding is, down here. So I think we'll send it, but definitely weird looking in there. Looks like maybe it was like staked, or I don't know. Kind of a weird. You probably can't even see that in there, but yeah, now you can see it. It looks kind of weird. But the sprag assembly will go in here, so I'm gonna undo my clamp, transfer all these components over to here where it can kind of sit, and then I'll work on disassembling this stuff too. But yeah, this is the race of a Torrington bearing. It goes like this. You see that guy's in there, down in there. Not focusing, but it's in there. And this guy right here will come off, and he goes face down in this groove here. So I'll just put all this stuff down like it should be, but that bushing wear looks good. There's not really hardly any wear on there. So I don't know. I think this trans is great, guys. I mean, there's no burn clutches in here. I don't even have to do what I'm doing, you know. So I may go through this with my dad and see what he thinks about these clutches, but everything looks good. I may just put new clutches in it just to do it and then let it rip. And I think it'll be fine once we clean all this converter material out and, you know, make sure the valve body's all cleaned. And, you know, I don't even know if I need to do a shift kit. I'd like to put the firmer springs in there, and I don't know what's in there now, but maybe you could just buy those firmer springs, and I can just go through the Transgo instructions and see what's been done and just put the stiff springs in or something like that. And I could buy it and save it for another trans. Yeah, so pretty cool stuff, guys. I'm enjoying this. So yeah, that cooler line is a 18. I just took him out here and the center support came right out. So yeah, on to the next step. Alright guys, so everything kind of hit the fan since the last clip there. I took apart the overrun clutch and all these clutches are burned. So I was thinking I was going to get off with a good transmission. I was wrong. This is a bad transmission. We have clutch damage, we have hard part damage, and I just hadn't seen it yet. So I'm kind of going through everything now and seeing what's bad. These are the overrun clutches in here, and they were burned up. There goes the furnace again. So what I think, I'm trying to figure out what happened, doing a lot of research and stuff, but you can see this is the center support, which it looks all grooved here. So all the grooves in the center support tell me that it was rubbing on the inside of the direct, which is right here. So if you look inside of the direct, you can see all the grooves are in there. So that's definitely not good. And it looks like it took out the bottom ring. I had a tough time getting this ring out on the scarf cut seal. It's pretty stiff, and it's definitely got some metal embedded in it, and you can see possibly that it's all beat up. It's tough to see, the lighting's not the best, but it's grooved, and it's basically been eating away at the inside of the direct. So this center support is junk, as well as this direct drum is junk because it ate up the whole inside in there at the bottom. So I don't think that last sealing ring that goes in there is going to seal very well. Now I'm just trying to figure out, is that the cause of the overrun clutches burning, or do I have some sort of other problem here that would cause the overrun clutches to burn? So I need to find out why that would burn, and I don't know what else. I also have some sun gear damage here. The gear's chipped, so I don't know what of all I've showed you here, but this gear on the sun gear is chewed. Hopefully you guys can see that one chewed up gear there. So I don't know that that's a huge deal, but I probably should replace it. So I got sun gear damage, I got direct drum damage, and I have center support damage, and overrun clutches that are burned, and I also have some damage to the overdrive. So, of course, bought another blown up transmission. Great. It always seems to happen to me, unfortunately. First one I knew it was blown up. This one I thought would probably be good, and I guess that's not the case. So it's hard to come by a 480 that's not totally hammered. So hopefully I can make something work out of this. I'm gonna start pricing stuff out, figure out what I need to order, or if I should just be getting another core and try to make a good unit. I don't want to get too crazy with this though. I mean, this whole transmission rebuild thing is pretty crazy because, you know, it's expensive stuff. These parts are not cheap for this thing, and I not only paid $300 for the trans, but basically paid $300 for a bunch of parts. Because if I had put this thing in, I probably wouldn't have had, I don't even know, I wouldn't have had, I think it does overdrive. It does overdrive, I'm pretty sure, and it also, those clutches will hold when you're in D3, D2, or D1, in addition to this roller sprag. See, people are saying in a lot of cases that this roller sprag, this one-way roller clutch will fail. And based on that, that would cause these clutches to spin backwards, and you could possibly burn these clutches here. But I don't think that's what happened in this case. I think what happened was that this Sun Gear, who rides in this center support bushing, I think the center support bushing is worn out on this side. I mentioned it before, but I can see it's all wallowed out. And I put the Sun Gear in there, and I kind of wiggled him, and he wobbles a lot. So if the Sun Gear's in here wiggling, he can cause the direct, which, the Sun Gear, this guy is, he's splined to the direct. He can cause the direct to wobble. And if the direct starts to wobble, it's going to wobble on the stationary center support here. And it ends up grinding this whole center support and sending all that metal, through these passages and into the sealing ring here. And possibly that sealing ring is responsible for sealing the overrun. I don't know that. So I need to find that out. If that's the cause of it, then fine. I just need to replace these two or three parts here and some clutches, and I should be good to go. But I definitely have to at least replace this in the direct, because I think that this is going to have a problem sealing now. I'd like to just put a new bushing in here, but I don't think that's going to happen. So I may order a used one of these and then try to put a bushing in it, and then I'll have a new center support set up. I think that this guy's okay, but I may need this new Sun Gear because of this chipped tooth. And yeah, so a lot of stuff's messed up. I gotta check and play on the planets and stuff too. I gotta kind of do a cost analysis and see what this is gonna cost me. Maybe I should just buy another transmission. It's kind of unfortunate that you don't really know what you're getting until you buy it. But yeah, that is what it is, I guess. Add it to my box of parts. Someday we'll do a trans that's good. I don't know. Someday I'll build a good one. But yeah, so I think this is going to cap it off for this trans disassembly. Obviously a letdown like the other one. Always a letdown with these. I have not yet successfully put one together yet. So we'll see if I'm even capable of rebuilding this. Based on the other one all ripped apart. I don't know. And like we said, you have to tear it down and remove the shaft coming out anyway to swap it over with the other one. So if the other one doesn't work, then this one doesn't work either. I don't know what I'm gonna do. So now we got two bad trannies. Hopefully the one in the bus is fixed. Anyway, I'm pretty certain it is. So we'll get that running soon. This is just chalked up as a failed attempt. But yeah, thanks for watching everybody, and peace.